John sir, please start the meeting.
All right. So, good evening, everyone. Is my voice is loud and clear to everyone? Is my voice is loud and clear? Once confirm me. All right. Great. So, welcome to day two of EDL program with ExcelR. Okay, then great. Fine, then. So let us get started. Hopefully, you can hear my voice loud in some time. Let us get into today's topic. But before that, can everyone post what you have learned in yesterday's session on the chat box? Let me have a look at it. What are the topics that we have discussed in yesterday's session? Yes, Bharat, you can stop sharing your screen. Thank you so much. Let it be there for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can stop sharing your screen, Bharat. Okay, history of AI. What is deep learning? Evolution of AI. Great, Mary. And Astosh, I think you need to check from your side. I think my voice is loud and clear to everyone. Just try to increase your side volume, please. Terminology differences, job market, differences between AI, machine learning, deep learning. Wonderful, great. Oh, Gauri, again, I think there is some issues from your side. Uh, I think others are able to hear my voice very good. That's what I feel. So, all right, wonderful, boy. Great, Pavani. Fine. So I think everybody got the materials right in your dashboard. All the materials that we had discussed yesterday. Wonderful, Abdul. William, Mary, can you please share the contact mail ID once again to access LMS, sir? Uh, Contact mail ID. I haven't shared any mail ID, William. To access LMS, I think you have to write a mail. The LMS team has shared the mail ID yesterday. If not, try to watch yesterday's recording, William. I am not remembering the mail ID now. You will be getting it. Saloni, from where can I get the study materials? From the dashboard, Saloni. Yes, thanks, Srinivas. So it's EDL at the rate of ExcelR.com. That is. Let me just post it on the chat box. So just try to write a mail. Oops. Yes. So this is the official mail ID. Just try to write a mail to this ID. You will be within 24 hours. You will be getting a response from the team. Okay. All right. Fine. So let us get into day two of today's learning. So today, let me start with the agenda. So yesterday, as you all know, we just understood from where this artificial intelligence got started, and that is artificial intelligence. It's not something available today, but it all got started in 1950s itself. That's what we learned it, and we learned about industrial revolution, and now we are in which industrial revolution? And what is that term called as? Excellent, Viram. We are in which industrial revolution? Great, Dhanashekhar, and it is called as what? Industry 4.0. And the name of Industry 4.0 is what? Great mind, digital transformation. So what is this digital transformation means? What does this digital transformation mean? Yesterday I mentioned one statement. You couldn't find that statement in the material, but I have mentioned yesterday. Automation is coming up, okay. The digital transformation is all about what? Okay, I think nobody replacing human work with AI. Is that what I said, Viram? Uh, Neha, you can post it on the chat box, Neha. Connecting everything. Wonderful, Dhanashekhar. So digital transformation is all about trying to make everything connected. So how we are going to make everything connected? With the help of IoTs, Internet of Things, with the help of web applications, with the help of mobile applications, with the help of surveillance camera. Again, it is an IoT. So with the help of IoT, mobile applications, web applications, we are trying to make everything connected. For that, we need artificial intelligence. And within artificial intelligence, we are having machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. And not only this artificial intelligence, we are having RPA. We call it as robotic process automation also. So there are a lot of subjects here if I'm speaking about automation, but I'm not getting into all those steps. Let's stick with the agenda, what we are going to learn here. We are just going to focus on artificial intelligence, but there are a lot of other processes also to implement this artificial intelligence, but this is more than sufficient to get into the job market. All right. So that's what we learned in the first half. And then we discussed about the terminology differences. So, and what are all the skills that we have to have if we are focusing on any particular role, like say data analyst? What are all the skills that we have to acquire? And what is the time duration? If I'm focusing for data scientist, so what is the time duration? And what are the skills that we have to acquire? And if I need to focus on data engineers, what exactly this data engineers will do? And what are all the skills expected if we wanted to focus for this data engineer role and ML Oops engineer. So different terminologies with respect to this data term. What are all the options available? Yesterday we looked onto it. And whenever post completion of this program, let it be any data analyst or whatever it is. So don't go with this job title, for example, data analytics or associate engineer. So don't go with this job titles, but rather today I'm facing a lot of, since I'm dealing with a lot of training programs, so learners are coming to me and they're just saying that associate training. Okay, so what exactly their job description, and they're getting 2 3 offers in their hand, and they're just getting confused which job they have to choose it. So now I've told them just read their what project they are working and what job description it's been mentioned in this in a job portal, that we have to carefully read it and then we have to apply for the current jobs. So don't go with this job titles, but rather read the roles and responsibilities or the job description given in every job advertisements and then go for the jobs. Is that clear, everyone? Once confirming what I'm saying, making sense? All right, fine. So that's what we have covered in yesterday's session. And then we discussed about this roadmap. So to be a successful data scientist or this AI engineer, so what is the roadmap that we have to follow? I think I've shown you all the roadmap, and I think all the materials, whatever I've showed yesterday, I've just given to the team and you are able to see in the dashboard. And what is the agenda that we are going to follow? That also I think I've just shown you yesterday. So now we are in day 2. Today we are going to discuss about 3 things. One is the very first part, what we are going to discuss nothing, but today I'm able to see most of the learners and the working professionals, I think faculties and also learners, students from engineering background, from different backgrounds, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and mechatronics engineers. A lot of people are switching towards this automation AI field, and why they are making it, and this this artificial intelligence need to have something in common, no matter I'm from whichever the domain is. Not only this computer science people and IT people, they can make a smooth transition, because for them it is going to be very easy, because they know this programming language, that's what they trained for. But even other people from other background also are making a career transition into this field. Why? Because here we are having something in common. So that's what we call it as a life cycle of a data scientist. In case if you're getting hired for this data scientist job role, so you will be following one life cycle, and that's where you will be working like. So how exactly, firstly we'll understand how exactly this IT world is working. Since I'm able to see you are all from this, some of you are faculties and who are training students, and some of you are engineering students here. So I would like to give you a picture of how exactly this IT world will work. And whenever we are speaking, and whenever you might be having some your friends or your seniors who are working in this IT company, and they say, hey man, I'm working in this project. Now every time they say I'm working in a project, now what is this project is all about? So how exactly this IT world is functioning? Firstly, we are going to deep dive into it, and we are going to understand it. And then we are going to look into, I think everybody install, I've asked everybody to install this Anaconda Navigator software. I believe everybody installed it. So today I'm not going to spend any time in explaining you how to install the software. I think I've given you as a task to download the software and make it installed. So everybody, have you all done installation part? Is it done? Dr. Leelavadi, yes, done. Aditya, done. Jyoti, Harsh, Jagdish, wonderful, great, good to know. Srisha, wonderful. In case if you have not downloaded it, so there is another way also to work on the scripting part. So just you can focus on that, try to work on the other part also, but try to download the software. At least if you have not downloaded it, try to download it by tomorrow and come back tomorrow. That should be more helpful. Yes, William, you can also use Collab, but there is one specific reason why I'm asking you to download this Jupyter notebook, because it would be very much helpful. So that's what we are going to cover it in today's session. And also the next 2 days, we are going to spend some time on Python programming part. Now, what is the agenda? So within this, if I'm saying Python programming part, and which flow we are going to get into this Python programming. So why we are choosing Python programming part, I think yesterday I've explained it. So why we are getting into Python? Anyone? Why not R? I think Python versus R, I've explained it yesterday. How many of you observed it? Why we are learning Python? Wonderful. John, Dr. Ilavadi, great. Pranav, Python for automation. Wonderful, great. I think everybody is focusing on this issue. Good to know that. So Python programming part, because of the automation part, great. So rich set of developer community. Wonderful. That's a good point highlighted by Amal. Great. So the point here is nothing but R programming is more about data analytics. Python programming is more about automation. So with Python, it's easy readable, and also we can script it well, and it is more used for automation purposes, as I said yesterday. So for that reason, we are going to pick up one programming language and we are going to get into it. So let me get started and see this. So this is the agenda for today. Let me share it. We are on day 2. Great, Amit, clearly explained. So we are on day 2. So we are going to cover this topic, life cycle of a data scientist, and there are different IDEs which is available. And then we are going to work with the very first Python programming part here. All right. And tomorrow also we are going to get into it. Right. So now let me get into the very first topic of today. So see this. Let me share the screen. Firstly, let's understand. Now I'm getting into it. You can start taking notes if you wanted to. And also this materials, as whatever I'm going to share in the screen, has already been uploaded in your material. Let me share this. See this. How exactly this IT world is working? Let's understand this. See, let me share the screen. Hope my screen is visible. So the function of IT world. So project, as I said before, how exactly people are working in the industry is nothing but they used to say, hey man, I'm working in a project. Now, what is a project basically? So project is nothing but when we have a start time and we have a project. Now, what is the start time and end time? For example, here I'm having Dr. Leelavati. Let's say she is cooking. Dr. Leelavati, she is cooking for her kids. So now cooking itself a project because it is having a start time and an end time, which is going to be benefited for others to eat it, and they need to be pretty happy. We have to serve ourselves so that we can sustain ourselves. So in the similar way, project is nothing but even this EDL, everyday learning with artificial intelligence program itself a project with ExcelR. So 20 days program, it is having a start date and an end date. We call it as a project, and then the next project, and then the date next project. In this way, when it is having a start time and an end time, we call it as a project. Now, to deliver this particular project, we are having different terminologies. Let's say I used to give this example. Let's say here I'm having mm, Dr. Maybe Jyoti here. Let's say Jyoti wanted. Let's say Jyoti is my project lead, and here I'm able to see. Let's say Mustafa. Now Mustafa is a team leader. Jyoti is a project lead. Now what exactly is happening? There is a client here, and the client wanted to accomplish one project. Let's say a chatbot project. What is a chatbot? I think you might be knowing this. Whenever we are visiting to some websites, it is going to the bot. It is going to respond to us, right? So bot is nothing but hello, how are you doing? Please, even if you visit to ExcelR website, we are having this chat bot and no human is sitting behind and texting you over there. But we try to welcome you if you're getting into my website. And based on the responses with the clicks, whatever you're giving into my website, I'm going to, this bot, it is going to collect information and it is going to report it to the team so that the team is going to contact you. So that kind of chat bot, I wanted to integrate to my website. So for that reason, let's say Jyoti is working for that, and to the client is, let's say I am the client. Now I'm saying Jyoti is saying, hey John, see, I will be delivering this project, but I need 1 year time to complete this particular project. Now what I'm saying, okay Jyoti, you can take your team, you can. So how many resources do you have, and why it is happening this way? So only one meeting I'm having initially. So now for the 1 year timeline, she is giving me the complete data and how many resources she have, only one meeting. And then after 12 months, Jyoti is coming and reporting to me stating that, hey John, see, we have accomplished this project and this is what we have done. Now I'm looking into this project and I'm not satisfied with that. Why? Because she made sure whatever it's mentioned, it is she has done. But I'm not really liking the UI and the way how it is responding. That is what we call it as one way of delivering a project. She makes sure that she is delivering a project within the given timeline. But what that kind of delivery, we call it as waterfall methodology, where delivering a project at one shot, we call it as a waterfall methodology. And then we are having the second type, we call it as an agile methodology. Let's say the same project, to deliver the same chatbot project, let's say Jyoti is taking so I'm the client again. Now Jyoti is saying, hey John, see, these are all the requirements that we have got, and let's catch up in the first meeting by this week, coming week Saturday, so that we can have the very first meeting. Now in the first meeting, Jyoti is coming and giving me the update on the project, what she had done. So after 2 to 3 weeks, she had done some improvement, and again she is just texting me over mail, and she wanted me to have a meeting. So again, after 3 weeks, I'm getting into the call. I could see there are something which I don't like. Now what I'm saying, hey Jyoti, see, these things need to be fixed. I'm not really liking this. So can you update this? Now again, Jyoti is taking some time, again another meeting. So, and she's not taking 12 months time. She's completing this project within 4 to 5 months with the regular updates. That's what we call it as an agile methodology. So delivering a project in an incremental approach, we call it as an agile methodology. So now it is focusing on customer centric. So now see this, now Jyoti, she's focusing on her client, the customer. So it's based on that, based on my interest, she is just making her team to work on the project. Now, which one do you think is the best methodology to deliver a project? Waterfall methodology or agile methodology? I think those who are from programming background, you should be knowing all this. There are other different methodologies as well. Obviously, agile. Wonderful, great. So that's what. Great. So that's what it is happening in the industry now. So whenever we are, since even I worked on some industries, whenever we are working on the projects, we try to take a time duration, and we try to give the regular updates to the client. So now, as a data scientist, see, this data scientist will be following the agile methodology of delivering this particular project. Now, within this agile methodology, we are having multiple divisions. Again, if you're from CS or IT, you should be knowing all the terms. Now, within this agile, we are having something called as agile crisp. Agile crisp is nothing but, we call this crisp as cross industrial standard process. So no matter if you are from a programming background, or if you are from let's say oil and gas industries, or if you're from, let's say, any other healthcare industries, or whatever background is, you are going to follow this methodology. We call this an agile crisp methodology. Now, waterfall methodology, it was available before 20 years, but now most of the industries started slowly migrating into this particular new methodology called as agile methodology. And now the client side, or the businesses, or the leaderships, they wanted to tier one. And even if I know someone director, she's working in one company, in US based company, they used to have a regular update on one particular project. Why it is happening? Because they have to make sure what changes it's been done on a regular basis. So agile methodology is something pretty important, and we all are going to work in this particular agile methodology. Within that, agile crisp is something we are going to pick up, and the name itself says cross industrial standard process. Because of that, let it be from any domain, you're going to make a career change into this particular part. Now, what is this cross industrial standard process? Let's get into this particular another screen. Let me share this part. See this. Hope my screen is visible. So we are going to get into this agile crisp methodology. But before that, let's try to understand, decrypt it, understand what exactly this mission process of learning. But before that, again, how we are learning the things, even as a human being, how we are learning the things, how human is learning the things. First, we have to collect the data. How data collection has been made with the help of our eyes and ears. The data collection, we are able to collect the data. And where exactly the data is getting stored, it is getting stored in our human mind, or we can say brain, it is getting stored. And based on the intelligence what we are having, we are able to take some decisions. That is nothing but we can think of this example. Let's say we are driving on the car, and we are able to see a red color as a signal. Now now we are able to see in the eyes, and we've been already taught that, so if there is a red light, we have to stop a car. That is nothing but the intelligence what we are able to have in our brain, and we are able to make a decision. Okay, 1 minute. And now, based on this particular intelligence, now my brain is telling me, hey, you have to stop this car. And based on the intelligence, whatever I'm having, I'm able to execute it. So now, if that intelligence factor, if it is not at all available, I can't perform this action. I will never stop this car. I will keep moving it. If I'm just keep moving it, I'll get penalized like 10,000 or 5,000. It will be, I need to make this penalty. So why we need intelligence? To make some decisions, to think, and to make some decisions, we need intelligence. That's what this human process of learning. Now, this complete part, data collection, data storage, intelligence, and performing this action, I wanted to give to the machine. How I'm going to do it? How data collection is made? Data collection is made with respect to sensors. Some sensors, maybe if you're just visiting to some restaurant, let's say whenever you're giving your hand to that washing machine, or sorry, the sink, and your this water is coming out, sensor is collecting the data, and it is just water is coming out. And software applications, you're visiting to some software applications, you are filling in your details, and based on that, let it be web applications we have, mobile applications we have, based on that, your data is getting collected. Even if you're visiting to this ExcelR page, you just need to do some clicks somewhere, or you can just be available in that website for 2 to 3 minutes of time. You will be immediately getting a call within 1 days or 2 days of time, because your data has been collected from the Gmail account. That's what this Google Analytics is all about. You will be getting a lot of mail notification to your mail IDs. How it is happening? Data is getting collected with your engagement towards some websites, or the clicks whatever you are making in any particular websites, data is getting collected. So data collection has been made with respect to sensors and software applications like web application, mobile application. And where it is getting stored, it is getting stored into this particular databases. Now, if you're visiting to this ExcelR, you're making a click, it need to get it stored into one database. This database can be like MongoDB, or it can be like Amazon AWS databases. Let it be any databases. I'm not getting into databases thing. Now, Based on this, here we have to have this intelligence. Now if machine intelligence, as I said yesterday, there are two types of intelligence we have. One is rule based intelligence and the other one is data driven intelligence. Now what is this rule based intelligence? This rule based intelligence, if machine wanted to make it, it is something like security kind of job roles. That is nothing but, again, we can take what is it, that in the sinks and everything, you're showing your hands, water is coming out, and it'll come out for 5 seconds, automatically turned off. So 5 seconds you're showing your hand, rule based. Every time you show your hands, five seconds, water will come out. So that is something like rule based. And whenever you're getting into some departmental stores, automatically door will get open and door will get closed, rule based. So and again, maybe you can think of this particular example. So when any protocol based kind of things, if you're doing it, let's say security, whenever we are getting into some colleges, security, he is looking at, hey Aditya, so where is your tie, where is your belt, where is your shoes? If you're not wearing all these things, just stay out. You are not allowed in, protocol based. So this kind of things, if I'm just giving it to the machines, we call it as a rule based. So machine can perform rule based intelligence and data driven based intelligence. So all the times we are not going to get into data driven based intelligence. Most, there are something which make rule based is something very, it's a kind of if else statement. So if the hand is coming in, give out the water for 5 seconds and stop it, just a if else condition. So this rule based intelligence also we can give it. And the second is something we call data driven intelligence. That's where this data scientist is going to work. And within this data driven intelligence, based on the data, we have to provide the intelligence or the suggestions. Means it depends on the customer's point of view. For example, data driven, you are getting into this Spotify, you are listening to this pop songs, you're having 10 songs at the first page and recommended songs. So automatically it is just displaying you 5 to 10 songs, or even after displaying, automatically the songs which are getting played, so it will be based on your current interest. Now tomorrow I'm just getting into the page and I'm just listening into some other maybe some rock songs or some jazz songs. Now again, recommended songs for you. And again, what it is doing, let's say you're getting into YouTube, you are now looking into some let's say machine learning related videos, automatic, now you're watching it, now the data is getting collected, now you're closing this YouTube, now you're visiting to this YouTube after a while, now you're getting some suggestions in your web application. Out of this top 10 suggestions, the first 5 or the 4, maybe any 4 suggestions, it will be related to your current interest. So now your data is getting collected, and it's a data driven based approach. Nobody is sitting behind it, and it's just looking into it, and it is providing such kind of recommendations to you. So wherever, and let's say you're getting into this Instagram, you're purchasing one product, and now when you're visiting to this YouTube, that whatever the data you've purchased, that related advertisement you might see in the YouTube. So how many, I don't know how many of you experienced that the product what you purchased, that kind of related advertisements you will be seeing in the YouTube. So how many of you experienced that, or YouTube, or any blogs? Anybody experienced that? Yes or no? Jyoti, many times. Wonderful. Aman, Abhinav, Leelavati, Gauri Shankar. Wonderful. I think many of them experienced. So this is all about data-driven based approach, and that's where the data scientists, we are working behind the scene of this data-driven base. And within this data-driven base, we are going to follow this Agile Crisp methodology. I will be getting into this in a while. So now let's say the intelligence factor is done. Now, how exactly this mission will take this action items? Again, behind the scene we are working, but again, this data need to be shown in some sort of sensors. How exactly it will take an action with respect to sensors, it will flush out the water, and software applications, it is going to show you the recommendations, it is going to show you the suggestions. So action is going to get performed by this particular software applications. Now, out of all these things, if you see, so this particular part is taken care by sensors, is going to taken care by IoT engineers. All right. Sensors and everything that is going to be handled by IoT engineers. And software applications, if I wanted to build one beautiful web applications, let's say web application can be divided into 2 types. Let's say front end and back end. And even mobile application also, it will be divided into 2 types, front end and the back end. If it is a back end in the front end and everything, basically front end and back end, maybe front end, we can just say it as a UI UX developers. I think you might be knowing it. And front end, how exactly they need to color it and everything. UI, UX developer, they will be working on it. And back end developers, it's nothing but we call software developers, let's say Java and many other languages, back end developers, they'll be working on it. And handling this databases, it will be taken care by data engineers. Handling databases, it will be taken care by data engineers, or in case, and sometimes data analyst also is going to come into the picture. Why? Because to extract the data, we call it an EDL process, right? So sorry, ETL, extract, transform and load. So again, data analyst also sometimes they will be doing it. And rule-based intelligence, we don't need any data scientist here. The software people, software developers who are working the backend, who are having some good knowledge. So just a rule based, if full loop, they will be giving it to the backend. So for data driven base, this is where data scientist is going to work in the picture. Okay, and after this, again, data scientist the backend work. After this, data scientist is going to hand over this project to this IoT developers, or we can say IoT engineers, or software applications. Again, I need to hand over to this UI UX developers, or I need to hand over this project to maybe what is it, software developers. Now I got a question. So to accomplish a project, like let's say a data science project, is it a standalone job or is it a collaborative work? What do you say? Is it a collaborative teamwork or is it a standalone job to deliver a project? Wonderful. It is a teamwork. Wonderful. I'm able to see all the responses. Great, everyone. So I think you all got this point. So as a data scientist, we are not going to work standalone. So we are just only doing this part. We are going to take care of this data-driven intelligence. Now let me get into it. So in case if I wanted to work in this data-driven intelligence, so so we will be following this approach. See this. We are going to follow this agile crisp methodology. That is, this agile, just look onto my pointer or else you will be missing it. So this agile crisp methodology takes this particular life cycle. So in case if you're getting hired as a data scientist, so this will be the complete flow that you'll be working. So firstly, you have to understand the business. So what is this business? Let's say this web, let's say I wanted to build one web application which can say whether you are eligible or not eligible for a loan. All right, so that a web application need to say about it. Now with respect to that project, now firstly you have to understand, if I wanted to come up with this web application, what sort of impact I can give to the business. So if I'm these are all the questions. Directly you should not jump into Python programming, let me give automation. That's not the goal here. Firstly you have to understand the business point of view. So how exactly data science job, it's all about how you can give a great revenue to the company. It's all about revenue generation, and that's why data scientists are getting paid more compared to all the other jobs in the market. So with by business understanding is very much crucial, and that's why even I said yesterday, if you are from an MBA background, so you should be knowing how business will work. And I'm not remembering the name. If you have asked this question, you can just post me or something on the chat box. I can look into your name, I can remember that. So how data science is going to benefit the MBA people. So if you're from MBA, Masters of Business Administration, you know how business is going to work. So now with respect to that, business understanding is something crucial for me, because I always speak about business. If I'm completing this project, how much return on investment, we call this an ROI. This is very technical term which I'm just speaking it, you can note it down. So how much return on investment I can give to the business. So company is investing on this particular project, let's say it's 10 million they're investing on this. So if they're investing 10 million, how much return on investment, how much return I'm going to give to the business? Obviously, if I'm giving 11 million, this project is not at all worth, because I'm not expecting only 1% increase in the profit. So it should be a great marginal profit I have to get it. So for that, initially, so I need to come up with a scale and with some Excel documentation, everything, and I have to speak to that. And also, if I wanted to come up with that kind of presentation, here itself, we should be knowing all this knowledge of what is the scope of machine learning, what is the scope of deep learning, what is the scope of NLP. So at least these three scopes, you should be knowing it. Only then you can come up with the presentation, you can present to the client stating that this is what we can give to your business. And if you're making this part automated. So this will be the return on investment that you will be getting it. Maybe if you're 15% or 30% revenue generation from the current revenue, whatever you're getting it. So this is what it will be happening. So business understanding is very much crucial in the cycle. We are not going to directly jump into the project. So as a data scientist or as a as a learner, always you have to think about the business standpoint of view, how you're going to benefit the business. Very first important use case. And this is where more time is going to be consumed. And then after understanding that, so I'm just keeping one service based company as an example. Let's say we are working for some companies like let's say TCS. So now TCS is a service based company. Now for TCS, they do have multiple clients. Now clients are given the data. All right. So data collection, the clients are given the data. Now data collection has been made. Now we need to understand the data, what the data has been given. Let's keep one point like it is a banking domain. You got the data from one of the banks. Now you have to come up with one website. You have to build it, and you have that website need to say whether you're eligible or not eligible. Data collection has been made, and you have to understand this data. Data is nothing but you will be having many features like this. Let's say in a tabular column, you'll be having it. Let it be a tabular column or a video, whatever it is. I'm just keeping one tabular column. Let's say age, customer name, and his company where he's working, and his CIBIL score, and see a co-applicant income, and what is this in this way, I will be having some sort of factors here. I'll be collecting it. Now, my job is nothing but trying to understand each and every feature, how exactly this is going to help to say whether a person is eligible or not eligible. So data understanding is very much the second step is data understanding. So for data understanding, we should be good at domain knowledge and statistics knowledge, because data collection should be need to be carefully collected. The right amount of data we need to have it. So here for data collection, domain knowledge is very much crucial. And in order to understand the data also, so you need to understand the domain first. Domain knowledge plays a crucial role here. Domain knowledge, statistics skills you need to have, visualization skills you need to have, and also programming skills also need to have in this particular data understanding cycle. And then data preparation. Data preparation, what we do is nothing but basically machine will never understand some English sentences or English words. So we try to make it like a number based or encoding format we try to do. And the data, whatever we got it from the client, we can't expect them it will be completely clean. So most of the data, it will be like chunky data. So we have to clean that particular data set so that the machine is going to understand it. So why data preparation? Let's say when you are learning this data science from me or AI from this program, when you're asking this question, hey, how this artificial intelligence is going to help MBA learners, is there any connection? If I'm not answering to that question, you're not going to understand well, right? In the similar way, mission expects data in one particular format. I need the data in a cleaned format, and only then, or else even when I prepare this agenda, so I just prepare day 1, day 2, and day 3, it need to be pretty much clean. Only then this program will go in a structured manner. Even during the delivering the training itself, when we are going with the structured manner, there shouldn't be any lag between the training. So our mindset is like that. So in a similar way, the same thing, how exactly human is learning, the same way I have to give to the machines. Transferring or feeding human intelligence to a machine, we call it as artificial intelligence. So in this data preparation part, we try to make sure the data is completely clean. And then we go for model building. Model building, again, you might not get the complete picture. Once we get into machine learning script, you will be understanding this. Model building is nothing but we try to separate input and output parameters, because as human beings, we know what is the input and output, but machine will never know what is an input and output. We try to separate input and output here. And based on the input and output, we try to train my model, and we try to go for testing. Testing is nothing but, let's say you are 6 months of semester, 6 months of semester duration you have for study time, and then after 6 months you're going for the test phase. Test phase is nothing but what you're going for the examination hall. Question paper is given to you based on what you have studied. So in the model testing also, what we do, we try to supply new data to the machine, and this model is nothing but the way how we train. This is going to make a prediction. So let's say a robot is going to answer to our questions. So to answer to that question, whether it is answering, so here here only the answers will be given. Now model evaluation. So when the bot is giving me the answers, I will be having the solution sheet in my hand. However, whatever the answers this robot is giving to me, is it matching, is it correct or not? Evaluation part will happen. If post evaluation, if the evaluation, if it is successful, then I go for deployment. So the deployment can happen with the help of some cloud platform. See, this cloud platform services, let it be AWS or let it be Amazon, Google Cloud Platform Services, a lot of cloud platform services we have to deploy our web application, or let it be if you're deploying into IoT, we hand over this project to the IoT team. So after this deployment, we go for model maintenance. So we have to continuously maintain it, because sometime model will not perform well. So we have to continuously look onto it, let's say monthly once or 6 months once, we have to look into it. And it's because the model maintenance part. So after this, if it is failing at some point in time, we just shut down for some point in time and we try to give it. And there is also another way, continuously we can without shutdown also we can do it, but again it comes up with its own consequences. But the point is nothing but, whenever your work, let it be any data science related project or AI project, so you start with business understanding, second step data collection, third step data understanding, fourth step data preparation, fifth step model training, fifth step model building, sixth step model training, seventh step model testing, evaluation, deployment, and maintenance. So this is the complete life cycle that you are going to follow. Let it be from any domain or any industry, you are going to follow this particular life cycle. Got my point? CPS is nothing but cloud platform services, mine and below. Cloud platform services. Sir, is 10% return enough? It depends, Parmar. 10% or 15% depends on the business case, what we're dealing with. All in data collection and data understanding, domain knowledge means what? Domain knowledge means that understanding that business point of view. That's it. How exactly I can benefit this organization. That's it. Subtopic of model training. NLP is natural language processing. NLP, who was that? NLP is natural language processing. And Shaikh, okay, let me show this. And model training, this is where this algorithm is going to come into the picture. Look onto this. Model training is nothing but, here we are going to take one algorithm point and we are going to say to that algorithm, what is my input and output. This is where linear regression, logistic regression is going to come into the picture for model training. CRISP is nothing but cross industrial standard process, Pratyush. All right. Great. So now if you look onto this particular cycle, see this everywhere domain knowledge comes under the domain, and domain knowledge plays a very crucial role. So the first priority I would be giving for domain knowledge. And the second thing, mostly if you see, programming is something happening everywhere. So the second priority I would be going for programming knowledge. Thirdly, I can see statistics everywhere. So the third priority goes to statistics. Fourth is nothing but visualization, right? So fourth is nothing but visualization. Fifth priority I will be giving for math. Math is nothing but algorithm. So fifth is nothing but algorithm. Sixth is nothing but cloud platform services we need to have it. So this is the hierarchy that we have to focus and we have to learn it. Domain knowledge, maybe if you're from an engineering background or any background, you might not have good domain knowledge with respect to any industry, or you might not know what exactly it is. But when we are working on this machine learning projects, I don't think so we will get into one machine learning project we'll be working on, but it will be a completely within one day. If it is a data science program with ExcelR, I will be spending 25 days for machine learning. But the 25 days thing, I will be giving it for only one day, because this is focusing on AI. but you will be getting a picture of what is this business understanding in this session. Then even in statistics part, I will be giving you one business problem. You will be thinking about it, how you are going to benefit the organization. I will be giving you some business problems to make you to think, to work on this. All right. So domain knowledge you will be gaining when you start to work on some assignments or post assignments. You can, if you're working on some projects, slowly you'll be grabbing it. Okay, so that will only come with respect to solving some problems with some scripts. That will only happen there. So for that you need to learn this programming part. So programming part we are going to start it now. So Python we are going to start it, and then we will be getting into statistics session, and then we will be getting into visualization session, and then math is nothing but the algorithm. We will be learning some of the algorithms in deep learning part, and then cloud platform services. I'm not going to get into cloud platform services here. That is out of the scope with respect to this session, but you can find a lot of materials available on and you can learn about it. But these are all the things that we have to focus on: domain knowledge, programming, statistics, visualization. So domain knowledge will, as I said before, domain knowledge will only come when you start working on the projects. To work on the projects, we need programming. So we are going to kickstart with programming now, and then statistics, visualization, math, and CPS. So this is the complete thing which I thought of sharing with you. Fourth point is visualization, data visualization. Domain is nothing but business point of view. Abdul. Domain, you can think of healthcare industry, or banking industry, or you can think of oil and gas industry, manufacturing industry. So these industries is nothing but domain knowledge. Statistics basics is enough for advanced level. I mean, it is easy for statistician to get into. Statistics knowledge, you will be good in math, but again, as I said before, three pillars you have to have. Only with statistics you can't get into data science. Domain, statistics, and programming. Three major pillars you need to grab it, or else only with you can't get into the domain partner. Bharat, from a business perspective, how do we understand or consider the business understanding? So again, we have to the business, they will be giving you some KT about it, what they're expecting from you. That KT is nothing but we call it a knowledge transfer. Or you have to go to their website, official website. You have to read what is their project is all up to, what is their current project. You have to understand them well before their call. Even if I'm going for any other interviews, I try to read even with ExcelR, when I gave the interview, I try to read what is their current project and how many clients they do have, what are the achievements that they have done. In that way, I have gone through that. So before giving any interviews or taking any business, we have to understand what businesses that they are working, and maybe from the internet, by reading some blogs, we will be getting it. Over the ready. Okay. Pavani, in testing phase, we perform prediction. Yes, correct, Pavani. Amul, before Conda installation, is it required to install Python? Not required, Amul. When you're installing Anaconda, it automatically installs Python. So we don't need to install separately. Yes, and Moin, ROI we call it as return on investment. For example, if I'm hiring you and I am paying you 60,000 per month. All right. So if I'm paying you 60,000 per month, how much return you are going to give it to me? If you're giving me at least maybe 1 lakh or maybe 1.2 lakhs in return with my business point of view, that's my business is going well. If I'm the only one who's investing on you again and again and again, then why do I need to invest on you? I will just fire you. Okay, that's not the point. So in any sort of projects, whenever we are working on, if that project, if it is not giving good return on investment, because let's say if I'm to work on the project, I need 10 people to accomplish that, right? So so let's say 12 month it need to complete it. So for 12 month, the client need to pay you so that you and your team so that because you're working on. So 12 months, I'm going to invest on you. So after 12 months, if you're not going to give me good return with respect to money, then it is not going to work. That's all about return on investment. All right. So Bharat, screen is not visible. Yes, Bharat, I'm not sharing anything now. I just stopped it. Fine. So till now, able to understand how the session is going for everyone? Is it good, interesting, or is it something known to everyone, or is it boring? What do you feel? All right. Great. Wonderful. Siddharth, sir, having issues with installation of Anaconda Navigator application. Siddharth, as I said before, I'm not going to assist in application installation because for that we do have a lot of materials or video assistance available online. Try to take the assistance from there. Let's focus more on learning part, not the installation part. I don't try to give more time on the installation and everything. Hope you can understand why I'm saying that. All right, everything is good. Let's start the Python programming part. Fine. So if anyone need a break of 2 minutes or 3 minutes before we get into it, or shall I continue? Continue, please. Okay, break. Okay, I think break, continue. Getting 50-50. All right, let's take maybe some small break of 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes break, and then we can come back. We can continue it. All right, let me start 3 minutes. Just a minute. Let me start the timer here. Let me start it. Now the time is 8. We will resume the session at 8:03. Okay, let's go for a quick small break. All right. So is everyone back from break? Ishwar, session is not over. We just gone for a small break. And Kala, data integration. Data integration means we are trying to integrate with one applications, sorry, cloud platform services. For example, if you're taking let's say a binary file and you wanted to integrate with your Raspberry Pi, that part of integration is nothing but trying to take something and fix it with another software or a hardware kind of stuff. We call it data integration. A brief about prediction. Prediction, see this one example, let me give you. See this, this is one website, okay? This is one website. Now I'm having one statement, okay? Now here I'm having this sentiment analysis. Now I'm having, let's say here, what's this? Pavani, right? So Pavani, let's say Pavani is a quick learner and able to adapt to any working environment. Fine. Now this is one statement which I've given. Now it is a sentiment analysis prediction. Okay, here we are having positive, neutral, negative. Now, what do you say? Is this a positive sentence or a negative sentence or a neutral sentence? Everybody can answer to this question. Is it a positive or negative? It is positive. Now, as humans, we are reading this and we are able to know. Now, this is a mission. Okay, great, everybody. Now, this is a mission. Now, once I click on analyze button, machine need to understand what I have written and it need to predict between positive, neutral or negative. Let me click on this analyze button. Positive. This is all about prediction. Okay, mission prediction. So based on the sentence, whatever I'm giving, it is predicting based on the three outputs, whatever I have, it is predicting it is positive. All right. Now, when we are writing a mail, hi, hello, how are you doing? The next sentence prediction, right? And LinkedIn. So we are getting into LinkedIn. We are receiving some message. Hi, hello. So automatically 3 to 4 messages popping up. So next message prediction. So this we call it as a prediction. That's it. Got my point now? All right. Fine. Now let's get into it. Sir, how that was 10.8% negative? Because again, uh, we can't say anything predict 100%, because as humans we know 100%, but all the time machine will predict out of 100%. It will predict with less percentage prediction with respect to the other classes. That's what it will do based on the other words whichever I'm having over there. Always we can't predict 100%, right? That's the point. Fine. So now see this. I think I've asked you to download this Anaconda Navigator software. And if you have downloaded this particular software, you will be seeing this. Let me share this. That is Anaconda Navigator. So it should be, you will be getting it here, something like. I'm not giving any instructions to download your software, but rather I'm assuming and also believing that everybody install the software. So now what I've done, I've just got into here and I'm just opening this Anaconda Navigator. So this is what I clicked on it, and it will take maybe 1 minute time to get it open. You will be getting something like this. See this button. I'm clicking on this. So you'll be getting this particular page. All right, this is a web application. So this is one application. Now, Anaconda Navigator is nothing but it is a collection of multiple IDEs. All right, IDEs. I mentioned IDE. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. Okay, you can note it down. IDE we call it as integrated development environment. If you're from a programming background, just bear with me because this is very basics, whatever I'm saying. But maybe I'm just explaining everything from the scratch so that everybody, the one who doesn't understand programming, programming background also will be getting these points. So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So yes, I will be coming to Google Collab in a while. So here we are having data lore. It is nothing but it is an integrated IDE. IBM Watson Studio Cloud, it is an IDE. Now Jupyter Lab, it is an IDE. Jupyter Notebook, it is an IDE. PowerShell Prompt, it is an IDE. And again, Spider, it is an IDE. Gluevis, it is an IDE. Now Orange, it is an IDE. PyCharm, IDE. RStudio, it is an IDE. Now what is an IDE? IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. And in one shot, in one line, I can just make this definition. See this. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment where you are able to write the script and see the output. We call it as an IDE. For example, what are all the different IDEs? We have few IDEs I just mentioned: Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab. And we are having Spider IDE, PyCharm IDE, Microsoft Visual Studio, Sublime IDE you have, and you're having a lot of other IDEs even I've not mentioned a lot of other IDEs as well. A lot of IDEs you're having it. Now, out of these, a lot of many IDEs, why I said to download Anaconda Navigator, within that we are having many IDEs like this. That is, you're having Orange, PyCharm, RStudio, and Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab. In this way, we are having different IDEs. Now we are going to work on one ID which is called as Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab, anything is fine. Now, once it is this Jupyter Notebook, basically whenever you are installing this Anaconda Navigator into your local machine, by default, this Jupyter Notebook and another application, we call it as Spider IDE, this will get automatically installed in your local machine whenever you're installing Anaconda Navigator with the basic settings. So let me open up this Jupyter Notebook. So what I'm doing, maybe directly you can launch it here. Directly you can launch it here. From here, if you click on launch, it will get opened up. But you can just see this. See this, I'm just going to type Jupyter, Jupy, Jupyter Notebook is coming in. And let me click on it. All right, this kind of black color window will get open, and this application will get opened up in one web browser. If the default web browser, if it is Google Chrome, it will get opened up in the Google Chrome. Okay, this is where this is where exactly Jupyter Notebook will look like. Now what I'm doing, so within this, I'm just here, you're able to see something called as new. Let me click on new. And there is something called as folder. Let me click on folder. Observe this carefully. I will be repeating 2 times, but try to give your complete attention. New folder, I'm creating it. Now, this folder name, the default folder name, it will be something like what? Untitled folder. That's what usually it happen. Try to find out untitled folder. If you scroll down, try to find out untitled folder. See this? I got this untitled folder name, okay, which got created a second ago. Now I'm just enabling this checkbox. Okay, I just enable the checkbox. Maybe you can click on it. Enable the checkbox. Scroll up. Maybe you might not find all this kind of folder names because these folders I've created. Now here you can just click on this rename. I wanted to rename this folder. So with the name of Everyday Learning, EDL, AI program. All right, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So this is what the folder name which I'm giving it. Maybe you can give any name basically, but this is for my reference. I'm keeping this name. So now I wanted to find out EDL, where it is. This EDL program 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let me click on this. Now a folder got created. Within this folder, I wanted to create one Python notebook file. Again, click on new Python 3 notebook file. Let me click on it. All right. So here I got this. This is where I will be scripting it. Okay. And again, I wanted to rename this file. So what I'll do, I'll take my cursor here. I'm just pointing on top of it. Now I wanted to rename like this, Python basics, or we can say Python programming. Click start. Something, any folder name we can just give it. All right. And now what I'm doing here, I'm just going to write one line. Says print welcome to ExcelR EDL program. Okay. Welcome to ExcelR EDL program. I'm just giving it. See this? Shift enter I've given. I got this. Every shortcuts and everything I'll help you to understand in a while. But here I'm writing my script. I'm seeing my output and some calculations. I'm writing my script. I'm seeing my output. I'm writing my script, seeing the output. So this Jupyter notebook is nothing but an IDE where I'm able to write the script and see the output. Jupyter notebook. All right. So this IDE we call it as Jupyter notebook. Now I'm going to go visit to the another IDE. In case if you have not installed the software, what you can do is nothing but you can just get into Google is just giving us some space in their cloud so that we can work on it. So in case if you have not downloaded it, just visit this Collab. Just type Collab or just type Google Collab. So you'll be seeing this. See, this Collab notebooks allow you to combine executable code and rich text in a single document along with images, HTML, LaTeX, and everything. So what I do, let me click on this. Welcome to Collaboratory. I'll be taking all your questions in a while. Just bear with me for some time. See this. So you'll be getting some Windows pop-up window like this. Click on New Notebook. Okay. In case if this pop-up, if it is not coming for you, mostly you'll be getting it. In case if it is not coming up, you'll be seeing this welcome screen. Welcome to Collaboratory. Just what you can do, click on File, New Notebook. Okay, File, New Notebook. Click on it. All right. So here, what you can do here, also see this. Click on this Connect button. Because now we are going to work all our scripts in their Google platform. Connected. Now, if you just scroll your mouse pointer here, and if you're seeing this, see this RAM, that is connected to Python 3 Google Compute Engine backend. And the RAM is 14 GB RAM basically. And the disk is nothing but 110 GB ROM we got it. Because if I wanted to upload any video file here and any data set here, we need to have some ROM space as well. So for that, Google is offering us this data or the spaces. Now here also what I can do, if I want to rename it, I can click on it and I will be renaming it as Python programming, Python program, something else I can do it. Okay, now here, what I'll do, print, welcome to AI program, something, all right. So I want to execute it. I'm executing it, see this. I'm writing my script, and I'm seeing the output. In case if I'm making any mistake, see that codes I've taken it up. So now it is going to show me invalid syntax. Okay, it is just going to give me the pointer and it's going to give it to me. The similar way, here also, if I'm removing that up, it is going to give me an invalid syntax. So why we are preferring this Jupyter Notebook and Collab for learning is nothing but you can write your script and see the output in the next line itself. You don't need to hover your mouse pointer anywhere. The output window, it will be displayed at the bottom. Next line itself, you can see it. So whenever you're making a mistake, okay, here you have done some mistake. Okay, you need to come back here. You have to see where exactly you've done it. So line by line, for learning purpose, you can use this Collab and also this Jupyter Notebook for it. But in case if you wanted to come up with any end-to-end application, so this is not going to be helpful. So at the time you have to get into other IDs like Spider ID. Let me click on it. See this, I just clicked on Windows button. I just type SPY Spider. As I said before, Spider and Jupyter Notebook will be automatically installed in your local machine. So Spider ID, I'm just opening it up. It's getting open. And here also we will be having a separate area for writing the script, a separate area for seeing the output, and all the file folders and everything we will be having it. And I'm not looking into your queries now, but see this, we are able to write the scripts here. Okay, this is where I can just, I'm just writing the scripts. So this in case if I'm just writing a script here, let's say 7 plus 89. All right, now I want to execute. See this, this is where you'll be guessing the output. I want to execute it. See this, I just executed that line, 96. So here I can just write the script and see the output over here. So in case if you wanted to see this files and everything, let me click on it. This is where all your files and everything will be available. The one which we have seen in the first page when we opened up Jupyter Notebook, this is where we are able to see. Okay, so I'm able to write the scripts here and see the output, and the working directory I'm able to see it. So Spider, it is an IDE, integrated development environment, where we are able to write the scripts and see the output. Spider is an IDE. In the similar way, we are having different IDEs like this: Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab, and here we are having Spider. Here we are having PyCharm. PyCharm is very much used in in end-to-end applications. If I wanted to install this PyCharm, you can directly install it. Now, why we are installing this Anaconda Navigator? Because see this, if you want to install PyCharm, directly you can click on install and it will be installed in your local machine. Okay, but now it will be redirected to their official page, and from here you can just download it. But in case if you don't know which softwares are available, you have to get into the internet and you have to say PyCharm download. In that way you have to give it, and you will be again redirected to the official website. So instead of giving this, so your Anaconda Navigator will collect most of the IDEs which is getting used with respect to Python programming part, and it is a collect. That's why I said it is a collection of multiple IDEs. PyCharm we have, and Orange 3 is basically used for text-related data for data visualization. R Studio is an IDE for data visualization. Data or programming languages. So to perform R scripting, you can just install the software directly from here. So these are all the different IDEs which we have, and how we have to choose between different IDEs, I think I've shown it here. So different IDEs is nothing but we're having Jupyter Notebook, Google Collab, and why we are preferring Jupyter Notebook and Google Collab for learning purpose, because when we are able to write the script in the next line itself, you are able to see the output. And your Spider, PyCharm, Microsoft Visual Code Studio, and your Sublime, and all your other IDEs, when to go with other IDEs for building any applications. Let's say web application or mobile application. If you want to come up with end-to-end application, mostly we'll prefer Microsoft Visual Code Studio and PyCharm. Spider, it is it's up to us. Why? Because why we are preferring PyCharm is nothing but we are having auto completion of scripts. Note down this term. We are having auto completion of scripts in PyCharm, which is very much useful for writing the scripts and everything. So this is the reason why we are preferring Jupyter Notebook. Why? Because for learning purpose. Now let me just try to look into your queries to answer it. Let me stop sharing the screen. You can post your queries on the chat box now. I'll be looking into it. So Anil Kumar, is it helpful to register and comprehend? No, Anil Kumar, I'm just using that site for explaining purpose. That's it. Nothing much, nothing more useful. Just for teaching purpose, I just got that website. Bharat, Collab is okay to go with the session. Yes, you can write it down, but I will be explaining some shortcuts here. But those shortcuts, it will never work in Collab. You have to do it manually, Bharat. But you can work it. Whatever the scripts I'm writing here, you can just do that. What is that Atom, Shaik? ATOM? Oh, Atom is an IDE. Not sure about it. Haven't worked on that. John Abraham, which helps to code better way other than text editors like auto close braces. I think I've explained that, John. Jupyter Notebook also will do auto completion of that particular line, but auto completion of scripts I meant by some main program. If you want to that, if you take it that complete template, we will be getting the complete template in our PyCharm, but auto completion of scripts will happen in Jupyter Notebooks also. Amit, is Google Collab paid service? Google Collab is not paid service until because Google Collab is offering us CP support and GPU support as well. But in case if you're going for, if you need more GPUs, let's say for now the RAM is nothing but 14 GB RAM. In case if you wanted to go for more RAM, let's say 25 GB, 35 GB, we have something called as Collab Pro. For that we have to pay it. Binish, sir, which ID is Google Colab or Jupyter? We are going to work with Jupyter Notebook, Binish. I prefer Jupyter Notebook. We can write spider direct in CMD to open it. Ibrahim, we can try it out, Ibrahim. The simplest way, I just shown it to you. I just clicked on Windows button. I just typed spider ID. It got opened up. Sir, Asmat, sir, is this all IDs are same as Spider and Jupyter Notebook? Applications of this different IDs? Just to script it, Asmat. Just to script and see the output. That's it. According to our preference, we do it. Jupyter Notebook, basically we use it for learning and everything. But if we want to go for applications building, we have to definitely look for PyCharm kind of applications. Sanjana, Visual Studio is the best software. Great, Sanjana. Good to know about it. I think that's your preference. Pratyush, sir, any IDs is useful for any book. So basically within Python, we are having, these are all the IDs which I've shown you for Python programming part. For different programming languages, we do have different IDs as well. Gauri, sir, what are you going to use Jupyter Notebook, Gauri? In Anaconda, we can only do Python programming. Anaconda, it's again, as I said, it is not an ID. Anaconda Navigator is a software. So within Jupyter Notebook, I'm going to work in Python, yes. Bushra, just wait for a while. We will be getting into it. Sure, Moin, I'll be showing it. Sadiq, sir, just Python language was sufficient for it? Yes, one language sufficient. Orange is useful for ML. I haven't used Orange ID yet, go with. I have not used it, but I just read about it. It is most useful for data visualization. In my experience, I have not used Orange ID. Sir, I created Python notebook folder. What for that? Will be getting into it. Amol, can we use TensorFlow in Jupyter Notebook? Yes, Amol, we can use it. Hold it as well. Great. Sakshi, sir, can I use Visual Studio? Yes, up to you, Sakshi. You can use any ID. Bharat, Orange is useful for machine learning. Can we use Visual Studio? Yes, Bharat, you can use that also. Fine. I think you have answered to all your queries. Jagdish, how can we save a program in Jupyter? Automatically, it will get saved, Jagdish. Let me show that. See, this one part I thought of explaining here. Let me just get into this Jupyter notebook. So let me explain again how I just opened this part. Let me explain it here. Just observe this carefully. I just clicked on my Windows button. I just tapped Jupyter notebook. All right. I clicked on it. And I got this window opened up. Let me close everything. I got this window opened up and basically I clicked on new folder. I created it and you will be getting a folder like untitled folder. If you click on it, you'll be getting a folder with the name untitled folder. Enable this checkbox. And if you can click on this rename if you want to rename it, but I don't want it to do it because I clicked on rename. I've already created a folder. I'm deleting this folder now. Now this is the name which I've given EDL program 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let me click on it. Within that folder, I wanted to create one notebook. So new Python 3 notebook, I created it. So this is the file which got opened up. See this automatically it got saved. And see this automatically the scripts what I've written, it is coming up. So one more point to be noted where it is. So this directory, where am I having this directory in my local machine? Because this is I've taken from the local machine. So you can find this part in your local machine from here. Let me show that. See this is my C. Get into C drive. Users, get into users. X1 Yoga is my PC name. I'm getting into X1 Yoga. This is where I can find all my files. EDL program documents, data since 12th October. So these are all the folders which I'm able to see in that window. Okay. From here, it is just my current directory. In your Spider ID, this is what it got opened up. In Jupyter Notebook, this is what it got opened. Okay. So within this particular folder, you can find Python programming kickstart, which I got saved in 8/19. Automatically, it got saved. That's it. Got it. Someone asked me to explain it again. I think I've done it. Bharat, without downloading Anaconda, we can install Jupyter Notebook. Yes, you can do that, Bharat. You can install Jupyter Notebook separately also, but for that you have to download Python separately. In case if you wanted to download Jupyter Notebook separately, that also you can do. See this, Jupyter Notebook download. Separately, you can also download it. But in case if you wanted to download it or install it, you have to download Python. Just type Python download. Okay. So you have to download this Python 3.1.3.10.4. This is the current version. First, you have to download this and then download your Jupyter Notebook. And then if you're working with it, it should help you out. Dr. Level, it could be better along with you if you open and see the navigator. Please give time to practice in the class so we can clarify your doubts. Sure, Level, you can work along with me. I will be definitely giving some time. Bushra, which one you wanted to repeat? Once let me know. Can we change the directory? Yes, you can change the Jagdish. Try it once reading about it. You can change the directory, but even I tried it. The default directory is this particular path, but in your installation, when you're installing the software, so you can change your directory. So you will be having C folder and D folder and everything. That's where all this file will get imported. So you have to change it there. Okay, Ibrahim, why extension is not .py? Great question, Ibrahim. That's my second point, which I'll be explaining it now. Sir, any limitations for Drive to operate software or notebook? Any limitations? No. This is completely a open source application. There is no time duration. But PyCharm, if you download it, it comes up with 30 days free trial option. After that, it is a paid service official. But Jupyter Notebook and everything, it's something unofficial. Sorry, it's something open source. We can download it. Bushra, just once let me know what I have to repeat it. I'm not getting which one I have to repeat it. Sajid, what are the basics algorithm we need to be clear of analysis? Basic algorithm we need to be clear of analysis the data. I'm not getting your question, Sajid. Sorry. If you wanted to know about algorithms, you can see the materials which I've given yesterday: linear regression, logistic regression, and decision tree. Those are the algorithms which you have to know about it. And for data analysis, we don't need to know any algorithms. Algorithms is just for training, model training. If you look onto that life cycle which I've given, data analysis, you can use your data visualization skills, your pulling out some insights, data analysis skills. That's what your data analysis skills is all about. If you wanted to train it, if model wanted to do some sort of predictions, that's where algorithm is going to come in. Algorithm is all about mathematical equation, the way of learning the patterns. For that, you need mathematical equations. That's it. There is no connection between data analysis and your algorithm. Sanjana, what are the familiar machine learning algorithms? I think I've answered to that question, Sanjana. All the IDs in Anaconda works only for Python programming. No, R Studio we have. R Studio is for your R programming language. How to open all those folders? Which folders, Bushram? Not getting it. Which ID is more easy to video analysis? Video analysis. In order to perform video analysis and everything, if you're having good GPU. We need, it's not like IDE. Basically for videos and everything, we prefer PyCharm itself. PyCharm or Microsoft Visual Code Studio. These two things we would be using it. And if you want to work with videos, definitely you need to have good GPU support. The GPU need to be installed in your local machine. Or if you don't have enough money to work with it, you need to go with Collab. If you get into Collab, Collab is offering some cloud platform services as well. See this? Sorry, GPU support as well. Collab is providing us. You can get into Collab. New notebook. See this, you are able to see runtime. Click on runtime, change runtime type. Here you're having GPU and TensorFlow processing unit. So you can change it to GPU here. So up till 14 GB we can work on, but more than that we can't get control here. So if you want to execute your video processing and everything, we try to go with Collab and we try to change the normal processor hardware to GPU and we try to work with that. In case, and this is free for 14 GB till 14 GB RAM, it is free. Beyond that, we have to go for, if we need, we have to pay it and get it for monthly services. From the, it will be shifted to Collab Pro basically. Okay, but in case if this is not sufficient, we have to invest our money and get our own GPU machines. Great, Vidyasagar. I think this would help. Let me copy this. In case if you want to change the directory, Vidyasagar has given one command. I will be posting that to everyone. You can take it. So Bharat, sir, I already have Python using Visual Studio. Should I download Jupyter Notebook? Not required. So Jagdish, I have non-technical suggestions. Sometimes we are unable to locate your cursor. If possible, use some colored cursor or highlighted cursor might be useful in all your classes. Sure, Jagdish, I'll be doing it. Thanks for your suggestion. Yes, Ibrahim, there will be regular expressions. How to install different libraries in Jupyter Notebook. I'll come to that point, Pavani, in a while. So libraries and everything, we will be learning it in this session. So this is the link to Vidyasagar has given this link. Sorry, I think I posted only to this. So you can keep this saved. If you want to change your directory, you can use this particular part. How you had opened all these folders? Which folders? This folders you are saying? I went into this PC, C drive, users, X1 Yoga is my laptop PC name. I got into this. This is my current directory. Users, maybe you will be having your own PC name. Get into the PC name, it should work for you. Okay, fine. All right. Fine. So I think 5 minutes time I've taken to answer all your queries. Now let's get into the next part. See this. Let me open up my, see this on 2 points I've just explained. If you look onto it here, I just explained IPYNB and the other one is .py. So there are two Python file formats. Sorry, two for Python file formats. Yes. So one is .ipynb and the other one is .py. So if you have seen this Jupyter notebook, .ipynb is nothing but IPython notebook file. So it is the name itself says it is a notebook file. So if it is a notebook file, only it will be opened up in your Jupyter notebook. Okay, and if it is a .py file, it can be opened up in normal notepad and things like that. See this. Let me show that. Now I'm just getting into EDL this program. Now this is nothing but what IPYNB. It is a Jupyter notebook file. Now I want to open it. So are you able to read it? Anything? Is it the way how you have seeing in your Jupyter notebook? No, it is not like that, right? So this file, if you wanted to see, it will be only, you can only see this file in your Jupyter. Only then in your Jupyter notebook file, it will be opened up. In case, if you are saving the file in, see this file, download as .py. Okay, let me just download as .py. and let me keep this, and here it will be downloads. See this? Now if you see in line number 4 print, line number 2 what exactly it is, in and out everything got saved. So the point here is nothing but how do we need to choose between .py and .ipynb. .ipynb file, it will be only opened up in your Jupyter notebook. It will never be opened up in your any other IDEs. But in case if it is opened up, it will be like this, the cell type and square brackets, curly braces, that's how it will get opened up. So I will be giving all this materials, whatever we are working with respect to daily sessions into your materials page. I will be giving that. But if you find any .ipynb file, what you have to do is nothing but you have to come here and click on this home, means you can get into your appropriate folder. Let's say this is our folder, right? So where is that? Click on upload button. Here you're able to see upload button. Click on that. Okay. And just try to upload the files. Let's say any file. See this? This is IPYNB file, zero short classification. Let me click on that. And you will be seeing this. Let me click on upload. And if you are just opening that up, you can see this particular files here. Okay. Not getting into that. So I will be giving you this once we start this scripting and everything. I don't think so we can get into the scripting part. Again, there are few shortcuts I will be explaining here, and we will be winding up our today's session. So the point is nothing but this file I will be giving to the team, and you will be able to access it. So now in case if you're finding .ipynb file, open your Jupyter notebook and click on upload button and just upload it. And then if you're opening it up, it will be opened up. In case if you're trying to open, see this, in case if you're trying to open this file, it will be in your downloads, right? In case if you're trying to open this in your Jupyter notebook, it will be like this. You won't be able to read anything. Okay. So if it is an IPYNB file, open it in your Jupyter notebook. If it is a .py file, you can open it in normal notepad or other IDs. Let's say I'm just visiting to the Spider IDE. See this? What is the file format here? What is the file format? .py, .python notebook. So .py, it will be useful for application deployment. So whenever you wanted to build any applications, you have to have the file format in .py. Okay, .ipynb, we can't have it over there for a web application, mobile application. So this file, if you see, this is available within, see this? This script is available within one folder. Let me show that. .py, see this? It is readable. Whatever the scripts I've given, it is readable over here. Okay, so if it is a .py file, it will be opened up in all your other IDEs like PyCharm IDE and Visual Code Studio. That it will be opened up. But if it is a .ipynb, it will be only opened up and you can only read it within this particular part. Able to understand this? What I'm saying? The difference between .ipynb and .py, is that clear? Great. Fine. So let me again open this. We don't want, see, in case if you want to delete it, click on this. I'm clicking on delete button. We don't want that basically. So now we are into this file. So let us explore this file. So I just want you to do this small homework, okay, today, and come and attend tomorrow's session. If you are working with Jupyter Notebook, I just want you to explore this file. Click on File, New Notebook. I can create a new notebook from here. Okay, this is one. And File, click on this, Open a new notebook. What is this open? It is opening up the current directory in another page. Okay. Now File, click on this file, make a copy. So this file, it will be created as a new copy in a separate copy of this. See this, click one, start copy, it will be available as a new notebook basically. All right. Now download as. So these are all the different file formats which you are able to see. Okay. And edit. Let's say you wanted to cut the cell. What is the shortcut? X key, copy cell C. So in this way, you're able to see different options here. View, click on view, toggle header, click on toggle header. Okay, that header got on view. I want toggle header. Toggle header is nothing but this title part. And the toggle shift L, see this? Shift L is nothing but the one and everything. See this? You're giving this, you're getting this line numbers, you're getting a view. Toggle line numbers, you are not able to see that anymore. So in that way, insert, let's say I want to insert the cell above. So this one cell got in. So this is my current cell. Let's say 78 plus 89. I got this. So this is we call this the cell number one. The square box in it is nothing but cell number one. That's what we address it. Let's say I wanted to delete this cell, delete cell, it's not available. Okay. Run cells, that we click control enter is nothing but the shortcut of run cells. Okay. Kernel is very important. Kernel is nothing but someone need to take your script and process it, right? Let's say for us, brain is something, it's a processing unit. So this Python need to have someone to process all our script. We call that as a technique with the technical term called kernel. Kernel is something which is trying to take your script and it is trying to process it. Okay, in case if you want to interpret it and everything, we can do that. Now widgets, try to get widgets is something not we won't mostly not use it. Okay, and now again, let's say if you want to cut this cell, what is this? Save and checkpoint. 31 minutes ago, it got saved. Let's say if you want to use it, click on it. It got saved auto saved a few seconds ago. Let's say you wanted to add a new cell. Click on it, new cells will get added. Now let's say this is the cell which got highlighted and you wanted to delete it. Okay, and you want to delete this cell. Let's say this is the cell which cell number one you want to delete it. I'm just taking my cursor and clicking on it, cut. Okay, cells is getting deleted. Okay, now what is this? Copy selected cells. First you have to select, so copy. So this cell need to be copied and paste it, paste cells below. So let's say if I'm just printing, print, let me give welcome. Okay, now I'm clicking on it. So this cell is getting copied and I want to paste it. Okay, see this, copy cells pasted. Now let me cut it. Okay, cutting the cells, I'm just cutting it. And let's say 67 plus 87. So this cell I want to take it to the now take it upper. How do I do it? Select this cell and take it up or click on it. So in this way, how to run it? Click on this run. So this cell got selected and I want to run it. Click on run button. It got executed and interrupt and code and everything. So in this way, try to explore this menu bar and all the shortcuts. And also apart from that, see this. Something I'm just typing it. So if you see, I'm able to just give some shortcut keys. I'm trying to type this particular chapters and getting it. How do I do it? See this cell, each and every cell, this we call a cell. It has different types. If you see, click on this drop down. If you're saying it is a code cell, okay, and code cell, I'm just clicking on Shift plus Enter to execute it. Now this is a code cell. If I'm just clicking on this cell, it says it is a markdown cell. If you click on it, you are able to see code, markdown, heading, raw and B convert and everything. Now code and markdown is something we mostly use it. So now if you wanted to create this kind of title and everything, how do I do that? Click on, let's say, I created it. Now this cell, I wanted to create a title like this. I wanted to create it like chapter 2, string and string methods. String and string methods. Okay. Now if I'm just directly, if I'm just click on run button, see this, it's an invalid cell, invalid syntax. Why? Because this cell type is code cell. If it is a code cell, I can't execute it. So what I need to do is nothing but I need to select this and I have to create it as a markdown. If I'm giving as a markdown, and then if I'm running it, see this, it got into it's like a text format. Now still it is not like a title tag. I wanted to make it as a heading one. So what I did, I'm just double click on it. I'm just giving some hash and then I'm just giving a small space. If you're doing it, it'll be like a heading tag. So if you're just giving double hash, heading 2, triple hash, heading 3. And if you're giving 4 hashes, heading 4, 5 hashes, heading 5, 6 hashes, I give Next, if you give 7 hashes, there is no something like 7. It will be normally treated. So 1 to 6 hashes you can give it based on the size and the font. It will be get changed. So now if you see, I'm just creating a new cell with some shortcuts and everything, and I'm just deleting it. See this? I'm deleting it. I'm deleting it with respect to some shortcuts. So before coming tomorrow, I want everyone to do this homework and come tomorrow, because again, I'm not going to explain it tomorrow. So just make sure your cursor is not blinking in any of the cells. Let it be outside. You can click anywhere outside the cell, or you can just see this. The cursor is here. I'm clicking anywhere outside the cell. The cursor has gone out. And again, if the cursor is blinking here, you can just simply press escape key so that the cursor will come out of the cell. So I have to make sure the cursor is not inside any of the cells. Now just click H key. Okay, just click H key. It is for your keyboard shortcuts. You will be getting all your keyboard shortcuts. Like the most commonly, the one which you have to know is nothing but Shift plus Enter, Control Enter. This two things is very much important to run a cell. See, this Shift plus Enter, it runs a cell and select below. Control Enter, run selected cells. That is, now I wanted to see this print welcome. I want to, now I'm just clicking on Control plus Enter. I'm clicking on it. So Control plus Enter, it is just executing the current cell. Okay, it is executing the current cell. Now I wanted to execute the current cell and move on to the next cell. See this? If there is no new cell available, I need to create as a new. Now I'm just going to click Shift plus Enter. Cursor is inside this. I'm going to click on Shift plus Enter. Now I executed it and I moved on to the next cell. So that's what even this shortcut says. H, I'm just clicking on it. H, I got all the shortcuts. Control Enter, run selected cells, and Shift Enter, run selected cells, and go below. This is something, these two things will be using it. And next, if you see, change cell to heading 1, heading 2, number 1, and number 1 to number 6. This is something very important. That is, let me close this. Let's say here, I wanted to make it as a heading tag. So the coming here, clicking on markdown, and then giving here hash 2 times, and then typing chapter 2, it is just becoming a pretty difficult task for me. So what do? I just simply click on it, click on the cell, and directly I need to make sure the cursor is not blinking any of the cells. I need to blink outside the cell. And then directly I'm just clicking on number 1 to 6. You can click anytime. Let me just click on 1. I got this one. 2, 3, 4. Any you can click on it, and then place your cursor inside, and then you can just type it chapter 3. Python data types, something. All right. So you got this data. So now again, the cursor is blinking here. If you're now clicking number 3 and everything, it will get printed. So for that reason, we have to make sure the cursor is not blinking any of the current cell. Make sure it is something outside. Now I'm just going to press maybe number 6. I got 6 asterisks here. Let me type chapter 5. Okay, Shift Enter I've given. It got executed. I moved on the next cell. Now I wanted to cut this cell. Okay, I wanted to cut this cell. Again, I'm just clicking on H shortcuts to cut this cell. So this 1 to 6 is pretty much important, which we'll be using it often. And then cut the cell X and copy cell C. A is for insert cell above, B is for these 4 things is pretty much important, which we'll be using it. Okay, and V is something important, which we'll be using it. So note it down. A, B, X, C, and we will be using it. These are the things. So now let's say I wanted to create. This is my current cell now. I'm addressing this cell as a current cell because this cell has got highlighted. Now I'm clicking on A button. See this? A button is nothing but create new cells above the current cells. Okay, now I don't want this. I'm just clicking on X button to cut the cells. Now I wanted to create new cells below the current cells. So this cell is my current cell. I'm just clicking on B. I created new cells below. I don't want that. Just click on X button. It got deleted. All right. And what is the other shortcuts? And X for cut the cells. And if you press D 2 times, this cells will get deleted, because if you're cutting the cell, you are having the option to paste it. For example, let's say I just this is my current cell. I'm just cutting it. X. I cut it. Now if I'm just clicking on V button, it got pasted. Okay. But now I'm just clicking on double D. It will be deleted. So in that way, so these things are pretty much important, and these things you don't need to get into it more. Okay, see this Control Enter, Shift Enter. This is pretty much important. So try to just go through the shortcuts and practice it and come back tomorrow. That is the task for today. Clear, everyone? Arshad, where we can see shortcuts, just press H in your shortcut keyboard. And from now onwards, we are going to follow an agenda in Python programming part. As I said, I'm going to treat everyone from the start. We are going to start it. Let me share you the agenda, what we are going to follow with respect to Python programming part. See this, the day one, sorry, chapter one, we are going to start from hello world, the basics of Python programming part and how to create a variable. And chapter two is all about the different data types of Python, like integer, float, and everything. We are going to work on some exercise here. And then in chapter three, we are going to work with something called as numbers. In chapter four, we are going to work with something called as functions and loops. That is how we can write a user-defined functions and for loop and everything. We'll be learning it. And then in chapter 5, we are going to work with some conditional logic like operators, plus operator, minus operator, and this. So this chapter five chapters we have. And then chapter 6, we are going to get into this data structures, where exactly we'll be having list, sets, and tuples and dictionaries. We call it the Python data structures. So tomorrow we are going to complete, I think so we'll complete the first 4 chapters. And day after tomorrow, we'll be getting into these the remaining 2 topics. So today is Wednesday. By end of Thursday and Friday, we'll be having 2 sessions. So by end of Friday, we will be completing all the 6 chapters. And the basics of Python programming part, we all will be strong on that. Okay. Bushra, how to open file in Jupyter Notebook? I think you have to upload the file first and then open the file, Bushra. I think I explained that part. Attendance link, I think it got in, you were able to see in the chat box. Once check it out. Amit, you only press H. Yes, Amit. I made sure that the cursor is not blinking in any of the cells and I pressed on H. Kalebani, for tomorrow homework, we have to download Python or PyCharm. You don't need to download any Python or PyCharm. The tomorrow's task is nothing but Kalebani. You just need to be familiarized with all the menu options, shortcut keys, and everything. Whatever I highlighted, you just need to do that. Just try to practice it. I just want you to create, see this, new cells, and then create a title like this, chapter 3. You just need to be hands-on on this. That's it. And then create a new cell, chapter 3, shift enter, and then deleting it. So in this way, I just want you to practice all the shortcuts and come back tomorrow. That is the task for today. Okay. Sania, which key we can press to H, Sania, H key. Jagdish sir, when you do some math, it is showing out to, but when you print here, it is now out to. What does that mean? Both are programming. In and out is nothing but input and output. Input for cell number 13 and output. It is returning this output. Input and output, that's it. Jagdish, I think you got this point. And okay. Bharat Reddy. Kalevani, sir, we have to download Python. Bharat, Kalevani again. Okay. Python or PyCharm, I think I answered that question. Only practicing the session. Jupyter Notebook is fine, Bharati. Arshad, H key, you have to press it. Jyoti, all clear. Thanks. Wonderful, Jyoti. Appreciate it. Samira, thanks for the informative session. Wonderful, Samira. Great that you understood most of the concepts that we discussed today. Nilay, I think screen was visible. Maybe internet fluctuations from your side. Once check it out. Aryan, will there be session on Saturdays and Sundays? No, Aryan. Monday to Friday, 7 to 9. Nilay, excuse me, sir, is it possible to get the info for next 2 lectures by watching the recordings as we are having college class? You will be getting the recordings, Nilay. You can go through the recordings if you're not able to attend it. Sir, can you provide day-wise topics? I think it's already, I've already provided that. So I'll check it out. Already mine. Ali, yes, you can do that. Wonderful, Pranav. Sajid, it's a lot to grab, but the concepts are too clear to understand till now. You have explained it very well, sir. We hope what's standing next. Okay, thanks, Sajid. It's good to know about it. Thanks for taking time and typing all these things and sending it here. Appreciate it. Pavani, regular expressions, yes, maybe at the last session, if time permits. Ali, I think my voice is good. Maybe you need to check with your microphone. Asmat sir, is this shortcuts are helpful in only Jupyter? Yes, it is only helpful in Jupyter Notebook, not with any other softwares. That's why I asked you to stick with one ID. Saloni, sir, I have PyCharm installed on my PC, so can I continue with that or I have to download? So if it is other IDs, Saloni, you have to install your all your packages separately from another area, console and everything. You need to juggle between those. So if you all are sticking with the Jupyter Notebook, it should be great for us, or else you need to juggle between all those things. So to avoid all that ambiguity, better we can stick with Jupyter Notebook itself. Bushra, because of you getting it easy learning Python. Wonderful, Bushra. Great. Still, there is a lot to learn. I hope you all will be learning great in this session. Hope you all will be using it wise. Do you have to quit or log out Jupyter Notebook or just close? You can just close it, Jagdish. It will be automatically closed. Fine, now the time is 9 o'clock. I hope I answered to all your queries. So today we discussed about different IDEs and Anaconda Navigator, why we are sticking with Jupyter Notebook, and what is the life cycle of a data scientist, how this IT world is functioning, the difference between Agile methodology and waterfall methodology, and why we are sticking with Agile methodology to deliver a project. We learned it, and what is the life cycle we need to follow as a data scientist. We learned it, and we try to understand what is this Anaconda Navigator is all about, what are the different IDs available, how we have to choose between all these IDs. We learned it, and then we just understood how this Jupyter Notebook will work, and Collab will work, and Spider ID will work, and then we got into some of the menu options of Jupyter Notebook. We tried to understand how exactly that would work, and finally we have looked onto the agenda of Python programming session, and whatever I've shown, I've already given as a material in your dashboard. Just take a look on it. With that, we are winding up our session now. The time is 9 o'clock. Let's meet tomorrow. Take care, everyone. See you all tomorrow at 7 p.m.